Hey guys, Paul Ragsdale here with Team Fat Boys, and I want to go over a few subjects that are controversial in the fishing community that stirs up a lot of stink uh, on a lot of occasions. I have seen people leave rude and obnoxious comments on other people's posts, and I wanted to uh, tell you what my beliefs are, and they are open for discussion as long as you don't get rude, crude, and obnoxious and be a total prick over it. I am more than willing to discuss what I believe in. To me, poles and limb lines and bank lines, they're all the same thing as far as I'm concerned. Um, as long as you, well, let's put it this way. On fishing poles, I think in Missouri and Illinois, you can have, it's either 2 or 3. And every pole over 3, you have to put your name, address, and phone number on. Just like you would a trout line. But you're allowed 50 hooks in Illinois. So I put out ditty poles, limb lines, bank lines, fishing poles. They're basically the same thing to me as long as you check them often. Preferably, I would hope that you CPR fish. And you can CPR fish a lot better if you check them every hour on the hour. But, and you're turning loose fish that are 10 pounds and over. Now, personally, I turn them loose 5 pounds and over because I just like to have a 1, 2, 3 pound catfish to eat over a 5 or bigger. So, but anyway, as long as you're not going over your fish limit, who cares? You're checking them often. You're not killing the fish. You're checking your line on a regular basis. What's the issue? There shouldn't be any, as far as I'm concerned. Let's go to trout lines. I do not have a problem with trout lines. What I do have a problem with is people that leave their trout lines out for me to get hooked up into and cost me gear because you didn't pull your crap in. If you're going to put out a trout line, you got to check it every hour or so. When you get ready to leave, I don't care how tired you are, you need to pull that trout line in, and that way no wildlife get caught into it, no fish are dying because they're on the hook and they're there for 2 and 3 days and dead. And there are wonton laws, which are like laws against wasting. So you can be charged with that for neglecting on your trout line. The other thing is a name, phone number, information. That is required by law in the state of Illinois. And if I call you and tell you I'm caught up in your line and you're not out there, then we have a big problem. But as long as you're not going over the limit of your fish, as long as you're CPR, I don't have a problem with trout lines. Now, the other one would be jugs. I don't have a problem with jugs. I do jugs myself. I don't do trout lines. I don't do limb lines, but I do jugs. The reason I do jugs is to test baits. I'll take 30 jugs. 15 I will use just plain Jane shad on. The other 15 I'll put shad with dead red or triple X blood bait, something of that sort. And that way I got 15 and 15 and I can tell which one is doing better over the other. Then I would do this about 3 or 4 times, and then that will give me an idea as if the bait attraction is working, or if the regular shad is working better. So that's the reason why I do jugs. Um, I do on occasion keep a few, preferably the bullhead. I normally keep those to keep thin the population. A lot of times I'll turn the channel cat loose once in a while. I keep one that's 1, 2, or 3 pounds, no biggie. And as long as you check it every hour in the hour, you pull them all up. When you go home, you got your name and address on them, no problem. If I find a jug out there somewhere, and it's got a name and address or phone number on it, I'm going to call you, say, hey, I found one of your jugs out here, and if you was missing one or whatever, I will say, uh, either I can put it up there towards the boat ramp for you to pick up, or I can just discard it. It's up to you, you know. So that's the way I feel on that. Hand fishing, absolutely not. I cannot justify hand fishing at all. I don't care if you stay in possession limit. I don't care whatsoever. When you are hand fishing, it's normally done during the spawning season. You're going to reach your hands into the hole. You're going to pull that fish out. Even if you turn that fish loose, that fish is not going to return to that hole. That's going to allow scavenger fish, bluegill, whatever, to go in and eat these eggs. They're going to have no chance of hatching. You just screwed nature out of about 3, 4, 5,000 fish, babies, because you decided to pull a fish off its nest. Now, them 5,000 fish going to all survive? No. It's a slim margin of those that are going to survive. Out of 5,000, you may end up with 75 or 100 that are going to survive. Out of that, you're only going to have maybe 2% that are going to get huge. The DNA, they're going to get huge. Not all fish get huge. They don't. I'll get on another couple subjects here, and then I'm going to let you guys go and think about what I said. Commercial fishermen. Some commercial fishermen fish only for big head carp, Asian carp, common carp, buffalo, and to me that's A-okay. If you're keeping a few small catfish, okay, that's fine. But my God, turn the big ones loose. Let their DNA get passed down, where we have a chance of getting the big fish. Quit overfishing an area of catfish when you can go and just fish the hell out of Asian carp and big head carp and whatever for eating purposes. There are some plants out there now that you can take those fish to, and it's getting to where it's worth your money to take those fish in. So, this is for the commercial fishermen, guys. Turn the big ones loose, please. I'm asking you, please turn the big ones loose. The last subject, pay lakes. I cannot stand these son of a bitches. The ones that are farm raised catfish, no issue. The ones down in Kentucky and other states that are buying these huge fish, putting them in a pay lake, starving them, continuously being hooked and turned loose, then hooked and turned loose until these things die, and then they get thrown in a dumpster to draw maggots. These fish deserve better than that. We should not be taking fish that are natural resources that belong to everybody that lives in this country and allow somebody to make money off of these fish. It can't be allowed. We need to step in, get loud, proud, and fight these guys all the way. There are some pay lakes that are nothing but farm-raised channel cats. I know of 2 lakes that do that, one in Missouri and one in Illinois. And I enjoyed fishing when I couldn't get out on the water. They shut certain parts of the Mingo Wildlife Refuge down on occasions if it floods or whatever. And if I want to go fishing, I went to a farm pay lake and keep 2, 3, 4 pounders. Take me about 5-10 pounds home and eat those. But that's my belief on a lot of these things, guys. If you want to leave comments, that's fine and dandy. I'll approve them, unless they get rude, obnoxious, and just being a prick. I'm not going to approve them. However, I will approve those who want to have a discussion, an adult discussion with me over these subjects, if you disagree or if you agree. Anyway, until next time, take care, and remember, if you ain't fishing, you ain't living.